and you guys must attract a lot of attention wherever you go. Have you ever felt unsafe or vulnerable being a minority in Saudi, or just on edge at all?
To be completely honest, I've traveled to over 50 countries.
Yeah.
And out of everywhere in the world that I have been, Saudi Arabia is the safest country to travel to and within as a woman. And this is completely opposite to what you'd think prior, but I could walk around at night with $1 million on my head and nobody would touch me.
Yeah.
So to answer your question...
Never, huh? Never?
No. So as we mentioned, our first road trip, our first stop was Najran.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't known or seen anybody that had been to Najran, and it actually has a travel advisory, being, only like 10 minutes from the border of Yemen.
Yeah.
Yes. So we just looked up a few places that looked very photogenic, and I was like, well, let's just stop in. We'll just go. We won't stay the night, and then we'll head to our next spot. So we'll just stop and see. And so we started to arrive late in the night. Long story short, we ended up sleeping in the car for like 2 hours, woke up, and then we're like, okay, let's go to the forts. Let's just knock this out. And we felt fine when we were there. It was actually really pretty. We're like, wow, the landscape, everything looks so nice. When we went to one of the forts, we were taking photos, and a local family, had started talking to my mom and ended up taking photos with their kids, and then invited us for dinner. And so we were like, oh no, we should probably get going.
Yeah.
But then we were like, okay, no, we'll just take a few photos at the other places, and if we have time, we'll stop after. So we got their number, and then after we were finished, we were like, okay, let's just go stop. And then as we started to head to the location they sent us, we were on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere. We were going up to a house that had gates. We couldn't see in it. They were wanting us to drive in the gates. And then all of a sudden we were like, okay, should we do this? All of a sudden I'm like, I don't know.
It's intimidating.
Yes, I was like,
send your location to your friends.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, is this a setup? Like, are we being too naive? Like, we are at the border. Everyone's like, don't go there as, single woman. And
you guys are brave, honestly. I don't know if I would have done that.
We try to always trust our gut. And so even though we had that moment where we're like, okay, let's be safe. But then they opened the gates, and this family was dressed in their nicest dresses. The entire family of women, kids, everything dressed in their best outfits, waving, welcoming us into their home.
Yeah.
And Najran became one of our favorite stops on that trip because it was so unexpected and a place that people don't go to because of fear. They let fear drive them. And this is a lot of reasons people don't come to Saudi. They let fear stop them from coming to Saudi, which is so unfortunate because if we would have let fear drive us, we wouldn't have been able to experience what we did in Najran.
Yeah.
And they offered for us to stay the night.
Yes.
They gave us this huge dinner, even
sweet.
vegetarian food.
Oh, wow.
And had that brought in.
Also, remember we were going to go up this really, I guess, dangerous road up the coast of Yemen to go to Jazan region, but instead they recommend going to Abha first and then going to Jazan. So they're like, oh, no, don't go that way. So it was like an angel coming down, like, let's not start the road trip off, like, let's go on a safe route and go this way. It was so just thoughtful. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as a whole, Saudi...
And then they took us to they wanted to drive with us because they said there was a steep hill and they weren't, we were
like straight up.
They're like, it's straight up and we'll go with you. Like they drove all the way out of
the way to go up with us to make sure we were okay.
We were okay.
You know what, Gail? If you didn't take that decision, going back to the first couple of minutes when you said that you chose to come to Saudi based on what you feared the most, if you didn't take that tough decision, you wouldn't have paved the way for Paris being the person she is today.
Correct. Yeah.
So a decision that you took has changed your life, what I think is for the better. And here's Paris, 2 years into Saudi with, plans to, looking for her Habibi here.
I think the most important part about that is that it changed my perspective with the Middle East so much that now I promote it. Now I just can't stop talking about how great it is and how safe it is, and please, people, come visit.
Which as a whole I think the Middle East, specifically Saudi, is a complete polar opposite of, for example, California. I mean, you're coming to a place where we're very free and you could walk around in your bikini down Hollywood Boulevard and nobody would even look at you strange. And you come here where women are sometimes entirely covered. You don't even see their eyes.
Correct.
And they will come to you and speak to you with so much happiness. And even if you only speak a little bit of the language or none at all, the universal language is love. And you've never, ever ever lack any of that feeling when you're here. And I think that's what Saudi has made us feel at home. And that's the difference. It's not just about the beauty. It's not just about a cool new place. Like, we've traveled to so many countries. But this place really makes you feel like it's your home, where I didn't even get that feeling where I'm from in the U.S. I never felt like home like it does here.